Hey everyone, welcome back. This video is an introduction, a very brief introduction into something which I have been learning a lot more over the last year. And it started out as the full moon video for Virgo, whereby the aim was to give the messages for each zodiac sign for the meaning for the full moon. So this is going to be an introduction into why astrology is important right now in our modern day life. I'm going to cover a basic meaning of a full moon, including the meanings of the sun and the moon, and also the ancient meaning of Virgo, and also the personality type. So, this is probably completely different to anything that you've come across before. I'm bringing a few different perspectives and hopefully providing you with some interesting, concise and ancient wisdom to help you at this full moon and in your day-to-day life. So a little introduction on why astrology is so important for our modern day life. For many years I have had a deep interest in astrology. I was very lucky to be introduced to astrology when I was a young child, around 11 years old, when I had a play with my older sister's CD-ROM birth chart. And I had absolutely no clue what any of this meant. But I knew from that moment on it would be very important and play a huge role in my life. Over the last year, I have been learning more and more about astrology, and especially from an ancient origin perspective. In the past, I have learnt mundane and esoteric astrology, and recently found ancient texts, meanings, and behind the zodiac signs, which has led me to a path of astrotheology or syncretism, which is essentially the science of man, the theory and understanding behind the axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without. A huge influence entered my life in 2016 when I stumbled across Santos Bonacci. His YouTube channel is called Mr. Astrotheology. In my opinion, a veritable genius, and most of my understanding of this ancient origin has come from Santos and the books he has referenced in his gathering of this ancient and fascinating knowledge. He freely asks people to learn what he has learned and share this information, as this is going to be extremely important for everyone individually and for humanity as a collective. This will become mainstream knowledge in the near future, and I hope to pioneer sharing this work for many generations to come, inspiring others to learn and pass on this ancient wisdom. So, why astrology? Well, it's my firm belief the sole purpose of astrology is to teach us there is a direct relation with astrology and the human body, so that we know how to heal ourselves in both physical and mental regeneration. Know thyself is carved in stone in many ancient temples of Egypt and all around the world. It also graces the entrance to the temple of Apollo at Delphi in ancient Greece. I believe this information has been completely lost to our modern world and perhaps hidden on purpose. One of my main aims is to make this knowledge again widely known through understanding our personal birth chart, to fill in the gaps of understanding of why each of us are the way we are, and then to be able to use this information to our advantage, to become healthier, happier, living life consciously, and to ascend to higher states of consciousness. The basic meaning of a full moon, it happens every month, as everyone is aware. It is an aspect in astrology called an opposition, where two planets are at 180 degrees from each other. It is accepted that an opposition is an inharmonious aspect, but oppositions bring opportunities, as the more challenging things in life teach us lessons, and from those lessons we grow. It is true they create tension, but tension can bring positive results, a challenge of growth and also achievement. The sun is our spirit. It's the universal spark, the true light, one of the luminaries of our zodiac, the life giver, the I am presence. Traditionally, the heart of the solar system ruled by Leo. It is masculine. It represents fatherhood. In physiology, rules the heart and spine, the heart chakra, and the 5th house of the zodiac. Psychologically, rules the basic self, the sense of our true personality. Depending how this is aspected in your own personal chart, you may resonate very strongly with your sun sign, or quite the opposite. The moon, the Earth's only satellite, the closest object to Earth, has a very direct effect on all of our lives, influencing the tides every single day, every month and throughout the year, and all bodies of water on the planet, no matter how small, including our bodies, as we are made up of well over 70%. The moon is the great mother goddess, ruling our subconscious reactions and feelings, moods and basic impulses. Psychologically, it often gives an indication to the character of our mother and our emotional reactions. One of the first impressions we make on others is from where our moon is placed in our chart. Physiologically, it rules the breasts, stomach and digestive system, the thorax and the torso, associated with fertility, influencing all plant life on Earth. It is ruled by the zodiac sign Cancer and the 4th house. It is our gut feelings and intuition, and the moon moves the fastest through its orbit of our solar system, passing through each zodiac sign every 2.5 days. The full moon in Virgo. At the time the sun is in watery Pisces and the full moon is in earthly Virgo, creating a dreamy, sensitive, free-spirited, emotional energy combined with the practical and analytical nature of Virgo. Each full moon brings us the pairings of the zodiac, the signs that are always polar opposite from one another on the wheel, yet complementary in ways that one can learn from the other. Virgo and Pisces are 2 mutable signs of the zodiac, being associated with adaptability, being flexible and also sympathetic, often diplomatic and able to change their energies to suit the situation, person or task at hand. Both signs are incredibly intuitive. Virgo perceiving the signs and signals, and Pisces feels them. There may be unexpected situations or events that occur. The full moon is not an auspicious time to start something new, but to make space, to clear out what is no longer serving you, to enable something new to come through with the energy of the new moon, 2 weeks after the full moon. What do you feel intuitively that needs to be let go of? What does your gut feeling say? How can you make practical steps to action this clearing to be able to give life to something new in the coming weeks? The full moon is in the sign of Virgo for approximately 2.5 days, so you have some time to focus on the energy that could be cleared within the foundations of your life in preparation for the new energy and opportunity that the new moon brings. Ancient origins of the zodiac sign Virgo. The ancient meaning of Virgo is the Divine Mother. Virgo, meaning virgin. The Hebrew for virgin is Bethulah. Beth, the beginning part of that, meaning house or place, and Eula, meaning pure water. So, the place of pure water. The Latin for pure water is sea or mare, M-A-R-E. Take away the E and replace it with Y, and you have Mary. This is where the term the Virgin Mary originates, in essence meaning purity in both word origins. Virgo in ancient times was given the association in relation to the physical body of the solar plexus and the bowels. The solar plexus is the lens or the brain of the body inside the abdomen. It is a matrix or mini zodiac in its own right. In the physiology of the solar plexus is that it lies directly at the back of the stomach. There are a group of nerves called ganglia, of which there are 12. They branch off from the solar plexus into all directions in the body. It supplies the energy required by each of the organs in the torso. It is therefore no surprise that every sensual thought is felt within the solar plexus, and information is sent out to the corresponding organs. The solar plexus is our seat of intuition, our gut feeling about something. It both receives and sends out information. There are two lenses of the body, one in the cerebrum, which focuses light vibrations in the optic-thalamic centre, and the celiac ganglia of the solar plexus. On the subject of 12, there are many sets of 12 things in nature. As most of you watching this will be aware, we have an activated 12 chakra system, which correlates to the 12 of the ganglia in the solar plexus, branching out into the body and beyond. This brings me to introducing the 12 tissue salts. Each zodiac sign has an associated tissue salt or mineral. The theory and understanding of this ancient knowledge was researched and developed in the 19th century by a doctor and physicist called Wilhelm Heinrich Schussler. If you have frequented Holland and Barrett, other natural health food stores are available, you may have seen this little blue and white bottle on the shelf. They are sold in a few different combinations and also separately. He discovered that each cell in the human body contains 12 specific minerals, and that by taking a small supplement of each of these minerals each day equated to optimum health. If one or more of these minerals were lacking, symptoms would occur and the onset of an illness would show up. So Schussler designed these tissue salt supplements to help restore and maintain a healthy balance within the macrocosm of the body. That probably should have said microcosm. The associated tissue salt for Virgo is sulfate of potassium, or Kali-sulf. Potassium sulfate was known as early as the 14th century. In early versions of the Encyclopaedia Britannica, this mineral was named arcanum. Latin arca translates to box or chest, and the verb means to enclose, arcere, signifying a secret or mystery. Webster's dictionary refers to it as a powerful natural agent or elixir. Potassium sulfate or Kali-sulf also has another unique name, sal duplicatum. It means that the salt which increases or doubles. When looking at this mineral under a microscope, the crystals look like a double six-sided pyramid. Kali-sulf is formed in these shapes, a rhombic form, by a circular vibration like a spinning top. So in relation back to the solar plexus, the magic wheel of life, and a double six-sided pyramid-shaped crystal, their sides totaling 12, matching up perfectly to the 12 ganglia nerves of the solar plexus. It is said that the typical 9 months we each spend in the womb, our cells and bodies become fortified with the minerals associated with each of those months, and the remaining 3 months of that year are generally what our bodies will be lacking, and we will be more likely to have illnesses associated with those 3 months that we are not inside the womb. Deficiency in Kali Sulf can display as an imbalance in the stomach and digestive system, but can also appear as conditions of the skin and mucous membranes, as the skin being the largest organ of the body to expel toxins. Personality archetype of Virgo. The second of the earth signs ruling the 6th house of the zodiac, and the ruling planets are Mercury and Chiron, planet of communication and the healer. Virgo by nature is trustworthy, kind. They have a knack for making people feel loved, special and unique. They tend to have a very quick wit and razor-sharp minds. They are incredibly hard-working, hence ruling the 6th house, and appear to get any job done in half the time when they love and enjoy what they do, compared to most of the other signs of the zodiac. They don't faff about and they get straight to the point. Integrity and honesty are high on their list of traits and have very high standards. Sometimes it can be difficult for us other mere mortals to live up to the exacting standards of a Virgoan personality. The shadow side can flip these high and exacting ideals into being overly critical, picking everything apart, and in the most extreme cases somewhat controlling, to the point where that this energy is directed can make the receiving person want to burst their own eardrums than hear any more criticism or hole picking. They can be perhaps a tad on the sharp side, analysing everything to the nth degree, as though they had a microscope under which every nuance can be looked at with such detail and scrutiny. Perhaps at times anxious and ending up at conclusions of the worst imaginable scenario in a hung, drawn and quartered fashion, without actually hearing or believing the real truth of a matter. Please do not shoot the messenger. This is in no way meant to attack a Virgoan personality. Each sign has their own shadow side, the light and the dark, and to honour and accept both dimensions to be balanced and helpful for our own understanding and how one affects another. The reason behind sharing both of these aspects is so that you're aware of which side the full moon could end up for you personally, and how this may affect you at this time. Another look at the full moon in Virgo with this additional information. The Virgin Mary holds Christ within her womb, thus nurturing the divine within. Each month, a psycho-spiritual seed is born within each and every one of us, in our solar plexus. This occurs at the time the moon enters into the same sign as the moon was when we were born. So if your moon is in Virgo, each month, whether you are a man or a woman, this seed emerges inside the solar plexus. Depending on how we care for our body and our energy reserves, whether we use substances which deplete our natural energy, something as simple as sugar, in which first gives us an energy boost, but massively depletes our energy reserves in digesting it. Therefore, we have the crash. The same is true for any other harmful things we ingest, such as alcohol or large quantities of red meat, etc. If we nurture this seed with care and attention and honouring our body as a temple, the seed has the potential to raise and rise up from the solar plexus and reaching the second lens, the optic thalamus, within the brain. When this occurs, the body makes new blood. Regeneration of brain cells takes place, and dormant cells within the brain are activated, then springing forth to the third eye, or optic thalamus, up to the crown chakra, where the 1,000 petal leaves of this chakra are opened. reaching higher towards a state of purity and enlightenment. For the Lamb of God is not a sheep. The lamb is the ram, which refers to the part of the body where the optic thalamus is located. I saw the Lamb of God on Mount Zion. Mount Zion is a metaphor for the head, and the lamb or ram is the metaphor for the cerebrum. Therefore, the Bible is filled with allegories which all relate back to the human body and how it is possible for each and every one of us to be able to repair and heal ourselves, and to be able to live life in perfect health and harmony in body, mind, and spirit.